Dad. Please. Wow, aren't we lucky to have heard that original recording of a young child in 1537 pleading with her dad to play a game of drafts. Simply magnificent. Hello and welcome back to the final couplet with me, Theo Cowan. Here we are, another week, another sonnet to be cracked. Any Shakespeare news this week? I think the main stuff is all about Hamnet, which I've mentioned before, and I still haven't seen it. I've read the book and I love the book. I really did enjoy it, actually. My worry is I'm going to watch the film. I'm not going to think it's as good as the book. It's a tough one, isn't it? And also everyone's saying it's very intense. And it is, it's grief, isn't it? And do I need that in my life right now? I don't know, is the answer. Maybe I do need to sit down and watch a film all about grief and Shakespeare and his wife and all of that. But sometimes it's the middle of January, it's bleak as hell. Sometimes you just need to put on a comedy. And for me, Hamnet, I don't think is going to hit the spot. But I will eventually watch it and I'll let you know when I have done. Let you know if I liked it, if that matters at all. But I think today, on this Sunday, we should just dive straight into Sonnet 136. If thy soul check thee that I came so near, swear to thy blind soul that I was thy will, and will, thy soul knows, is admitted there. Thus far for love, my love suit, sweet, fulfil. Will fulfil the treasure of thy love. I fill it full with wills, and my will one. In things of great receipt with ease we prove among a number one is reckoned none. Then in the number let me pass untold, though in thy store's account I one must be. For nothing hold me, so it please thee, holds that nothing me a something sweet to thee. Make but my name thy love, and love that still, and then thou lovest me, for my name is Will. Wowee! Bit of a mic drop moment there for Will. We know that in the last sonnet he was dropping will here and there, and obviously the double meaning. We thought, his name, will, of course, your will for something. And also there was a lot of sexual innuendos, which I still think are seeping into this one. But here at the end, he's being very obvious about it. He's going, for my name is Will. Yeah, so all that wordplay that I've been chatting about in the last two sonnets, yeah, I have been talking about my own name. So take that. It's a strong ending, isn't it? Although I will say that he doesn't necessarily trust the reader here. He doesn't trust that we got it. We understood that your name is Will and you're doing wordplay. And it feels like he had to eventually go, oh, by the way, my name is Will, so all of the Will stuff that I've been talking about in the last two sonnets, yeah, it is my name, so I'm pretty clever. I'm a clever guy. Sometimes it's better to not explain your intellect, I would say, William Shakespeare. If I had to say one thing to you, you do like to explain your intellect sometimes. But in terms of the themes of this sonnet, it's very, very similar to 135, if a little less sexual, I'd say. But it's the same thought that is, hey, look, I know you have lots of lovers potentially, but accept me. What is one more person, eh? Look at me. I love you. Let me in. Let me in sexually, potentially. Still talking about that. But also, let me in as a lover. What harm will one more lover do for you, But I think it'll be better to break this down line by line and work out what the hell Shakespeare is going on about in Sonnet 136. So we start with, if thy soul check thee that I come so near. So if your soul or conscience, I sort of read this as tells you that I'm being too forward. I'm coming too close to you physically, potentially, but also, I am being very forward. I mean, listen to the last sonnet. I was making loads of sexual innuendos. I was basically talking about my penis and your vagina a lot. So, look, if your conscience is telling you that I'm being too forward, is that first line, I think. Swear to thy blind soul that I was thy will. So tell your soul, tell your blind soul, obviously the soul doesn't have eyes necessarily, tell it that I'm your will. He's playing on his name again, but will as in also, I am your will. I am your want. And will, thy soul knows, is admitted there. So, and me, and will, your soul knows that I'm allowed to go there. I'm allowed to go into your soul. All right? I'm allowed to be forward. Your soul knows that. Come on. Thus far for love, my love suit, sweet, fulfil. So here I think he's saying, just grant me this much for the sake of love. Allow me in. Your soul knows, your conscience knows that I'm meant to be here. Will fulfill the treasure of thy love. So will, he's saying will twice. He's saying will a lot in this, to be honest. But will, aka me, will satisfy the treasure of your love. And there isn't a question mark after this, but it feels like there could be. Will he? Will I satisfy the treasure of your love, potentially? Because then he answers with, I fill it full with wills, and my will one. Which I read as, hell yeah. Hell yes, he will, I will. He'll fill it full of wills, and my will be one of them. Obviously, he's talking about himself again, but he's also talking about wills and wants, and he's also talking about, I think, potential other lovers, maybe, But will, aka me, will be one of them. Made that very clear. In things of great receipt with ease we prove, among a number, one is reckoned none. So here he's saying, we can see that in things that can hold a lot, aka you can hold a lot, right? It's a compliment. One more hardly counts, does it really? I mean, what's one more? You can hold a lot. You can have a lot of lovers. What's one more? What's little old me, eh? Then in the number let me pass untold. So in that number, let me just slip in unnoticed amongst the others. You'll hardly know I'm here, but I'll feel good about being here. Though in thy store's account I one must be. So sort of don't count me, but let it please you to hold me, to have me in you. Again, there's a sexual element here potentially. For nothing hold me, so it please thee hold, that nothing me a something sweet to thee. So this is a slightly more complex thought. There's a couple of lines there. But here I think he's saying, think of me as nothing, all right? I'm almost not there. As long as that nothing is sweet to you, feels good to you. So, you don't even think about me. Think of me as nothing. I'm hardly here. But as long as that essence of me is sweet to you, is nice for me to be there. Slightly complicated one now, but I think that's the meaning that's shining through. And now, of course, we have the final couplet, which is, make but my name thy love, and love that still, and then thou lovest me, for my name is Will. Oh, this is growing on me as a final couplet. I think this is up there. This is up there with some of the best final couplets he's written. I mean, it's just it's such a strong ending, isn't it? After he's been talking about this for so long. And here he's saying, just love my name. and continue loving it. And then you'll love me because my name is Will. It's as simple as that, baby. You will love me. Will. You will love me. My name's Will. Hello, I'm Will. So that is my breakdown of Sonnet 136. It's a nice one. It's a nice continuation on. He's got a little less sexual potentially, although he is talking about being... there's a potential read of this that is orgy-esque. What is one more person inside you? I don't want to force the sexual innuendo part of this, but we can't shy away from it, and we don't shy away from it on this podcast. We've got to ask the questions. And we know that Shakespeare, he's a sexual guy. He likes to talk about sex. And, of course, in those days, you had to mask the way you talked about sex. It couldn't be completely overt. It had to be innuendo, a lot of it. And within wordplay. So I think, although Sonnet 135 was much more sexual in my eyes, this still has that element. And he's saying, let me in. Let me in amongst your other lovers. That's what I'm reading it as. And you know what? I feel like Shakespeare's really grown in a way. Before he got very jealous specifically with the fair youth. He got very jealous of the fair youth having affairs. Also, Shakespeare was saying that he had affairs and all of that. But here he's sort of going, hey, look, it's absolutely fine. You've got other lovers. I don't mind. Just let me in. Let me be part of the love circle, baby. It's very 1960s stuff, isn't it? It's very Glastonbury, baby. It's free love. So good for him. Maybe he's been on a little bit of a journey there. Now, I think it's about time we put this to our story. And if you remember last week, obviously Shakespeare's frenemy, Ben Jonson, he's down in Stratford and he's fallen in love with the Dark Lady, of course, along with Shakespeare and her husband, who's still knocking around. And they've gone to the Dark Lady's house. The Dark Lady, she's invited Ben Jonson in and sort of left Shakespeare on the doorstep because he's whining and he's saying, you're conning us. You've taken my friend. And they go upstairs to have a bit of sex. Shakespeare, he's pissed off about it. He's like, what the hell? Why are you having sex with him and not me? I want to have sex with you. I love you. And so he decides to climb up the side of the Dark Lady's house, gets to the top floor, peeks in through the window. Dark Lady's there with Ben Jonson in bed. Shakespeare knocks on the window and says, hey, open up in there. Come on. Eventually Ben Jonson gets out of bed and opens the window and is like, what the hell are you doing here, Shakespeare? And Shakespeare's like, I want in. I want to be part of this. Why are you accepting him and not me? And then he reads Sonnet 135 from the window ledge. So let's see how that was received by the pair of them and how Sonnet 136 fits into all this. Shakespeare finishes reading Sonnet 135 to the Dark Lady. Ben Jonson stands in the corner with a little nightie on now. Shakespeare says, can I come in off this ledge now? The Dark Lady says, Shakespeare, look, I know you want to be with me. I get it. But you've got to understand, I'm having fun with Ben Jonson at the moment. And, maybe your time will come. But at the moment, it's just the two of us. And Ben Jonson says, yeah, Shakespeare, for God's sake, leave us alone. We love each other. Shakespeare clambers into the room and the Dark Lady says, oh, please don't come in, Shakespeare. I didn't invite you in. Shakespeare says, look, I know I'm being a little bit needy, a little bit pushy, a little bit forward, all right? But I have to be, because I want to be in you. And the Dark Lady says, oh, for God's sake, Shakespeare, that's very crass. Ben Jonson says, yeah, actually, Shakespeare, that's a bit much. You've gone a bit too far there. And he says, no, well, yes, in you sexually, yes. Sorry, yes, I do mean that. But also I mean, in you, in your heart, in your soul. I want to be part of this sort of love circle that you've got going with these other men, your husband and Ben Jonson, and there's probably more, let's be honest. And the Dark Lady says, yeah, I have various lovers. So what? So be it. And Shakespeare says, yeah, I'm absolutely fine with that. Look, I'm a modern man. You do you. But I just wanted to say that I want to be part of that. Shakespeare starts to take off his top. And the Dark Lady says, Shakespeare, put that back on. You're not getting invited into the bed with me and Ben. It's not going to happen, all right? Shakespeare says, oh, for God's sake. This is really annoying me now. I really want to be part of this. And it's annoying you're not accepting me. My name's Will. Did I tell you that? My name is Will, and you have Will, and you want me. You will want me. My name's William. You will want me. Ben Jonson and the Dark Lady look at each other and go, I think he's lost his mind. I think he's completely lost his mind. The Dark Lady says, yes, I do sort of have that effect on men, unfortunately. William looks at them both and says, you know what? Forget it. Oh yeah, you're so happy together. Forget it. And with that, he hops back out the window and starts to abseil down the house, using some bed sheets that he tied together, of course. And on his way down, he thought, you know what? This is annoying. I came here for a bit of sex and a bit of love, and I'm not getting it, and that's not fair. So he stops midway. He's hanging from the building, from the bed sheets. And as he hangs, he decides to write another sonnet. Sonnet 136, all about his name being Will, and the Dark Lady not giving him his will, and the Dark Lady wanting Will, and why can't he be part of her love circle. He scrawls it down quickly, and then starts to climb back up using the bedsheet. Eventually he reaches the window again, pops his head through. The Dark Lady and Ben, they're back at it. They're having sex again. And Shakespeare goes, Sorry to stop you. Ben Jonson rolls over and goes, oh, for God's sake, this is really pissing me off, Shakespeare. And Shakespeare says, no, I know, I'm sorry, but I couldn't leave and I had to write another sonnet. Ben Jonson and the Dark Lady groan. We don't want to hear it, Shakespeare. And they close the window on him. And Shakespeare, muffled through the window, says, well, I'm going to read it anyway, okay? And they sort of try to ignore him, but he is shouting loud. I mean, some of the neighbours are up next door. They're pissed off. It's early in the morning at this point. And Shakespeare starts to read through the window Sonnet 136. If your conscience tells you that I'm being too forward, tell it that I'm your will, and your soul knows that I'm allowed to go there. Grant me this much for the sake of love. Will satisfy the treasure of your love. Hell yes. He'll fill it full of wills, and my will be one of them. We can see that in things that can hold a lot, one more hardly counts, does it? So let me slip in unnoticed amongst the others. Don't count me, but let it please you to hold me. Think of me as nothing, as long as that nothing is sweet to you. Just love my name, and continue loving it. And then you'll love me, because my name is Will. So there we have it, Sonnet 136, and the story to go with it. It's getting a bit crazy up there. There's a lot of sex going on. There's a lot of people involved. The Dark Lady, she's just trying to have a good time. Shakespeare's being bloody annoying. Ben Jonson's pissed off. Who knows what's going on with the Dark Lady's husband downstairs? But maybe we'll find out next week in Sonnet 137. Until then,